Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking into the future. And let me tell you, the future looks absolutely massive. If you thought 2024 and 2025 were big for cinema, you haven't seen anything yet. We are officially standing on the doorstep of 2026. A year that is already being called the endgame of Hollywood. Why? Because we are about to witness the greatest concentration of massive franchises, long-awaited sequels, and nostalgic returns in the history of the film industry. For years, we've been waiting for the return of our childhood icons. We've been waiting for the biggest superhero showdowns and the comeback of it's all happening at once. We're talking about the return of the Shrek universe, the dark streets of Gotham, the return of the most famous toys in history, and the beginning of a new chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This isn't just a busy year for the box office. It's a cultural event that will define the next decade of entertainment. In this video, we're breaking down the 10 biggest movies of 2026. We'll look at why these projects are so high stakes, the incredible stars attached to them, and why the internet is already losing its mind over every single leaked production. Photo. We are covering everything from legendary animation to gritty psychological thrillers, and the rebirth of the spoof genre. This is your ultimate survival guide to the biggest year in movie history. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive into the list and see why 2026 is going to change everything. First up, we are heading back into the shadows of Gotham City. Following the massive critical and commercial success of Matt Reeves' first film, The Batman Part 2 is officially set to dominate the late 2026 landscape. Robert Pattinson is returning as Bruce Wayne, and fans are desperate to see where his Year 2 journey takes him next. The first movie gave us a detective-focused, noir version of Batman that felt more like a psychological thriller than a traditional superhero flick. And the sequel promises to go even deeper into the madness. The biggest question on everyone's mind: who is the villain? While the Joker, played by Barry Keoghan, was teased in the first film, rumors are swirling about the inclusion of Mr. Freeze or the Court of Owls. The English-speaking audience is particularly excited because Matt Reeves has proven he can create a grounded Gotham that feels terrifyingly real. This isn't just another Batman movie. It's a character study of a man who is slowly losing himself to his mission. Expect a darker, colder, and more atmospheric experience. The cinematography in the first one was Oscar level, and the sequel is reportedly pushing those visuals even further, with a script that is being kept under ultimate secrecy. The hype for The Batman 2 is at an all-time high. It's a movie that doesn't just want to be a hit. It wants to be a masterpiece, and in 2026, it might just take the crown as the best comic book movie ever made. Next up is a movie that defines the word legacy. Pixar is bringing back the gang for Toy Story 5, and this time the stakes aren't just about a new toy in the room, it's about the survival of play itself. Set for release on June 19, 2026. This sequel tackles the one thing every modern parent and child understands: the obsession with screens. The plot is a fascinating toy meets tech showdown. Bonnie, now 8 years old, has moved on from her cowboy dolls and space rangers. Her new obsession? A high-tech frog-shaped tablet named Lillipad. Voiced by the brilliant Greta Lee, Lillipad isn't just a toy. She's an AI-driven data mining screen that captures all of Bonnie's attention, making the physical toys feel like ancient history. The English-speaking audience is already buzzing about this digital villain, because it mirrors the real-world struggle of staying relevant in a world dominated by iPads. But that's not the only twist. We're finally seeing the reunion we've been waiting for. Woody and Buzz are back together. After the emotional ending of the fourth film, Jason, now the leader of the room, has to find a way to bring Woody back from his life as a lost toy to help save Bonnie from her screen addiction. We're also getting a massive subplot involving a group of 50 high-tech Buzz Lightyear units, all voiced by Tim Allen, who are stuck in a mysterious demo mode on a deserted island. Directed by Pixar veteran Andrew Stanton, the man behind Finding Nemo and WALL-E. This movie promises to be a deep, emotional, and very funny look at how childhood has changed in the digital age. It's not just a sequel. It's Pixar's way of celebrating 30 years of the franchise. that changed animation forever. Now, we have to talk about the moment Marvel officially decided to win back the world. In May 2026, the MCU is undergoing its biggest transformation since Endgame with Avengers Doomsday. But it's not just the title that has everyone talking, it's the man behind the mask. In a move that shocked the entire film industry, Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But he's not coming back as Iron Man, he is playing the most iconic villain in Marvel history, Victor Von Doom. This is the ultimate multiverse twist, directed by the legendary Russo brothers, who are also returning to save the franchise. Avengers Doomsday is being described as a dark, high-stakes epic that will pit our new heroes against a version of the face they once trusted most. The English-speaking audience is obsessed with this. Casting choice, is it a variant of Tony Stark? Or is it a completely different character who just happens to look like him? The scale of this movie is unprecedented. We are seeing the Fantastic Four, the new Captain America, and the remains of the Avengers all coming together to stop a threat that makes Thanos look like a minor inconvenience. This film is designed to be a massive reset button for Marvel. It's gritty, it's intense. And with RDJ leading the charge as a villain, it's the most anticipated superhero event of the decade. Is the year Marvel reminds everyone why they sit on the throne of Hollywood? If you thought the era of the parody movie was over, think again. After nearly 20 years, the franchise that defined a generation of humor is coming back to theaters. Scary Movie 6 is officially in production for a late 2026 release, and it's being developed by the original masterminds, the Wayans brothers. This news alone has sent the internet into a nostalgia-fueled frenzy. The original creators are back to roast everything that has happened in the horror genre over the last 2 decades. Think about it. They have so much material to work with. From the elevated horror of A24, movies like Hereditary and Midsommar, to the viral hits like M3 Gan and Five Nights at Freddy's. The English-speaking audience is desperate for this kind of R-rated, unapologetic humor that doesn't care about being politically correct. The rumored plot involves a group of influencers who get trapped in a haunted house that is actually a metaphor for social media. We're expecting cameos from some of the biggest stars of the original trilogy, alongside new faces from the world of TikTok and YouTube. In a world that takes itself way too seriously, Scary Movie 6 is the breath of fresh air we all need. It's going to be loud, it's going to be offensive, and it's going to be absolutely hilarious. The kings of the spoof are back to take their gravity shift on the Wii. It's colorful, it's epic, and it's destined to be the biggest animated hit of the spring. Now let's talk about the sequel that literally no one expected, but everyone secretly wanted. 20 years after the original film defined high-fashion cinema, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is officially arriving in late 2026. This isn't just a nostalgic cash grab. It's a direct continuation starring the original legendary trio, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt. The plot is genius for our modern era. Miranda Priestly is still at the top of her game, but the world of print magazines is dying. She's facing a new enemy, the digital age of influencers and fast fashion. To save her empire, she has to reunite with Emily Charlton, who's now a high-powered executive, and Andy Sachs, who has become a respected journalist. The English-speaking audience is obsessed with the idea of old school versus new school. Seeing Meryl Streep go head-to-head with TikTok fashionistas is going to be cinematic gold. It's sharp, it's stylish, And it's going to be the most quoted movie of the year. That's all. There you have it, the 10 massive reasons why 2026 is going to be the absolute biggest year in movie history. We are looking at a perfect storm of nostalgia, innovation, and pure star power. From the gritty rooftops of Gotham to the pixelated hills of Minecraft, from the return of Shrek to the debut of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, this is a year where every single month feels like an event. Hollywood is finally leaning into what we love: great characters, massive worlds, and stories that make us feel like kids again. But I want to know your thoughts. Which of these movies are you booking your tickets for right now? Are you excited for the return of the Wayans brothers in Scary Movie? Or are you counting down the days until the Batman Part 2? Drop your most anticipated movie in the comments below. I read all of them. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the future of cinema, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown of the biggest news in Hollywood. The 2026 cinematic explosion is almost here, and you don't want to miss a single second of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the movies.